podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Thanks for choosing this free Anfield Index podcast. If you'd prefer to listen to this or any of our other shows without adverts, then now's the time to check out Anfield Index Pro. With AI Pro, you can supercharge your entire listening experience. You'll not only get all of our podcasts without the ads, but you'll have them far faster with our quick publish feature available exclusively for subscribers. AI Pro also puts you in the heart of our sound studio, with an option to listen to many of our shows live and interact with the podcasters in real time as the shows are recording. Upgrading couldn't be easier. AI Pro is available on all popular podcast platforms, and we have our own apps for Apple and Android. Just head on over to AnfieldIndexPro.com and get started today.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And welcome to another episode of Post-Conference Presser for Anfield Index. It's getting hotter outside, ladies and gentlemen, and Jurgen Klopp, in the best way possible, turned up the heat in this press conference. Let's put it simply, ladies and gents. He's leaving soon. He really don't give a fuck about certain things. And it was great to see in a certain way. So we'll do the usual. We'll go through the questions, the answers he gave, and boy, did he give some answers. We'll talk about the clues from the last game against West Ham. That's the draw bit almost, it seems, isn't it? We'll talk about the game against Spurs coming up this Sunday, the threats they'll possess, and then the predicted lineup and scorers as normal. Now, listen, if I could give you any piece of advice, watch this one. Absolutely watch this one. It was sensational. He was late again because he doesn't care. He's leaving, so he doesn't really care. Every answer he gave, someone was getting it nice and tight at certain times. And if you watch it, you'll be like, yeah, with everything he said. I think the last one could be absolutely sensational. But let's get into it and what he said. And boy, you have to bear with me on some of these because we have to dissect so much from this. But the first one he was asked for video corner as normal was about, you know, the turnaround for last season and trying to look for the positives, Champions League, etc., etc. So what did he say to this one? He say, you just see how it goes. We speak today after last season about qualifying for the Champions League 3 games before the end. Does it feel to everyone like that it's good? Maybe not, but to me, it does. That's how the perspective can change during the season. For a while, it looked like we could go all the way or stay in the race for longer, which was impossible for different reasons. It's possibly third place in the league, which is behind 2 teams who do really well, and that's how it looks right now. If you expect me to say how it's not over yet, blah, 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 it looks like it is, and the pressure's off. It would be really cool if we could play really, really good football again. And we had an intense last few weeks and a super, super intense period. Thursday, Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday. Didn't work out for us too well. And after a long season and going back to the start, if we think about it, no one knew, but everyone knew how important it would be to qualify for the Champions League again. And that's super important for the club. Yeah, I mean, there's a few bits for this. It's understandable if people are like pissed off, don't want to hear it, Kloppo, from all this. You know, we should have been where we are. We should be higher. We should be pressing right to the end. I get that. I do get that. I want to impose. I understand I'm behind all that completely. At the same time, it can sound hollow, but if you think back to the start of the season, I get what he's saying. No one expected us really, I think, even the most optimistic struggled to see us in the title race. No one expected the collapse, that's fair to say, and that's not excusing it, but here we are with it, type of thing. He was naturally asked, and you'll be no surprise to this, about the touchline incident with Mo Salah and what happened there. He said, it's fine, it's completely resolved, no problem at all. If we hadn't known each other for that long, we're unsure how we would deal with it, but we respect each other, and it's right to deal with these things independently from expectations from the outside, so we're fine. It's a non-story. In general, the best situation would be everyone in the best possible place, we're winning the game, scoring loads of goals, and yes, that situation wouldn't have taken place on the bench in the first place, but it has, and we move on. Yeah, I don't really know. It's right to ask, by the way. It was right to ask, but he's right. It's a bit of a non-story. We've seen Mo Salah, happy in training since then. We've seen like Jurgen Klopp being joyful at various things. So it's moved on. A week is a long time in football, as we know. And to be honest, with what he said with the rest of the stuff, there is a reason it's moved on quickly. Now, dear Christ, strap yourself in for this one, ladies and gents. The question originally, which you'll forget by the time I get done saying this, was about the 8-day break and how that will have helped. Remember that? You probably won't, but when we get to the end of this. So that was the starting point. So what did Jurgen Klopp say? Christ, he said massively. First and foremost, the boys had a couple of days off, which is super important. And we can plan training sessions, which we're not used to. We've been stumbling from one and a -1 into the next game. So hopefully we'll see that. In general, I think it's a really interesting subject on the way out. And I could not be less interested what to really make of it.
Hello, I'm here to annoy you. I'm here to annoy you into listening to more of me and more of others on EPL Index. We don't just have the Anfield Index stuff. We've got EPL Index as well, which covers the entirety of the Premier League. And we have 3 podcasts and a whole bunch of really good writing on EPLindex.com. The podcasts are my own two-footed podcast, which is every day at 4 p.m, Monday through Friday, covering the whole league. We have A Tad Predictable, hosted by Tadiwa. You know Tadiwa, he does Anfield Index. He presents A Tad Predictable before every Premier League match week. And then Kevin DeVries and his crew on the EPL Roundtable, they're every week after the Premier League match week. So make sure you listen to everything we're doing on EPL Index and follow us there on Twitter at EPL Index. Thank you. Bye-bye.
But seeing Villa lost 4-2, if they go out, there's no European or no English team in any kind of European final. You will all stay here, you'll all talk about it if you don't increase the intensity for the players, etc. Because if you make of the fact that English teams aren't in the final, underperformed, and there is maybe moments like us against Atalanta, it's not the case. I watch a lot of football all over the world. The Premier League is the best in the world. It's not overrated, and you can talk about that until everyone realises and finally. But somebody needs to help the people. I'm not sure how many games we have in the Champions League we have for next season. Tony Barrett confirmed it was 3 extra. You cut that off for the League Cup semi-final, and the second discussion you allow for cut off one more game. And now everybody has a reason to say, you can't do that, you can't cut off these games. I had a discussion the other day with my colleagues from a favourite channel, which I definitely will never watch again, TNT. The conversation they always have is that we pay you, we give money to football. It's not like that. It's the other way around. Football pays them. Because they broadcast and they deliver broadcast, and it's not like TNT or Sky aren't doing well, they have to become a partner of football again and not the squeezer. That's just a little advice from an old man on the way out. And I will watch a lot of football, but not all, because people can survive without match days from time to time. City, Arsenal and us were out in the quarterfinals. It isn't a reflection of the quality. It's just that we couldn't deliver on the days we had to. Others are really good teams around the globe, but it's a sign. A few years ago, we had 4 teams in the quarterfinal. And we take that and say, that's the quality of the Premier League, so let's make more of it. But we have to change that approach. Yet when I speak about it, it's different. They dare to give us Thursday, Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday. That is a crime. I was waiting for Amnesty International to go there, in all honesty. Somebody sits there and decides, I'd love to be part of that meeting when someone says Liverpool 12:30, and the whole room bursts out laughing again. This morning I got sent the stats that it was the quickest turnaround in the whole world for Liverpool FC. I sit there and say we have to fight and everything, but they have the quickest turnaround, and I'm sure they're happy and they can collect subscribers, but you can take me off that list. Holy shit balls. I mean, let's break this down bit by bit. The European bit, I get. All teams have wobbled in Europe, haven't they? Villa now, have we said that Olympiacos are a better team than Villa? Overall, we're saying, Liverpool are bad at the moment, don't get me wrong, but overall, better team than Atalanta. I think we know the answer to that. Even, I know Real Madrid are just a special cursed team for English teams, or City will level that. But you look at the other leagues, the Premier League is the best league in the world. They just play more games and they're shagged. But as soon as Klopp says that, everyone wants to have a go, etc. And everyone, you know it's going to be clipped to fuck. You know they're going to be all over socials having a go at Jurgen Klopp. You know TNT now has made themselves relevant again. They'll use it as a chance to have a go at Jurgen Klopp to fan their numbers. Of course they will, because no one wants to hear the shit that Jermaine Jenas and Rio Ferdinand comes out with. This is a great thing for them. Actually, something relevant to talk about. Of course it is. It's honestly, they'll clip it. But when Pep says the same thing, when Guardiola attacks it, well, no one really mentions the 1-5ers anyway, do they? But there you go. And as he said, the general bit, the Amnesty International thing was just a quality line on it. But that schedule, when you look back at it, it's so daft, isn't it? We say, yeah, they got tired, they didn't hit it. But Thursday, Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, 12:30. Insane, really, when you look at it that way. About surviving it more than anything. And that doesn't excuse anything. We were poor at time. I get all that. But it is right. And yeah, TNT, the whole thing, I mean, their coverage is shit. We watch it because it's our team at that time. If we weren't watching it. Like the pundits, the commentary, the whole thing is absolutely wank. But Jurgen Klopp has given them something. Jurgen Klopp has made them relevant. And I like the way he ended it with they want me to be a pundit, that's fine, and I'll come on there. But that was a bit jokey that way. Then he was asked about Spurs and their form and what to expect. Normally we save this until the opposition section. We talk about their threats, but there were some great bits that I thought here, because the refs got it a little bit now as well. Well, it's a long answer, and then, we got to this key quote about Spurs and how they're doing and everything, blah, blah, blah. Said, only the other night, for the first time since Tottenham, Simon Hooper was standing next to me for 90 minutes a game, which I didn't enjoy in the first place against Everton. I tried to get it out of my head, but I couldn't. Now we play Tottenham, and that was not their fault. They just played the game. But I would like to win that game for 500 reasons. The fact we lost and the way we lost is one of them. For all the VAR chat this season, the refs and all the various things, it still strikes me when clubs say it. There was no greater sort of failing of the whole thing than that Spurs game away, wasn't it? The 2-1. It's funny how he remembers Simon Hooper, and that's maybe you could see why he was doing so much shit on the sideline against Everton. Maybe you'd argue about could he be focused on the game a bit more, but obviously everything was going wrong. Who knows? 500 reasons. Yeah, of course. Everyone remembers the fact that after winning that game, Tottenham had the We Win the League parade in 2023. No one forgets that at all. The glitter balls, the things, family on the pitch, the photographers, never mind Arsenal. Tottenham went to town. We'd love to put that correct. It almost just feel like bury that ghost. And also, the only thing now which I'm thinking is VAR, Simon Hooper. And I'm not a big one. I'm genuinely aren't. I don't believe in all this. Look at the refs. People get involved in that too easy. Just win the match on the football pitch. But don't be surprised if we don't get too much this weekend. I'll say that for definite. And then he was asked about, the reflections with the situations and, you're coming to an end, 10 years, all this type of thing. Goes, I don't know. I don't think about it. At the moment, I have to sign a lot of things. 9 years' time and everyone wants another shirt, which is cool as well. Being around the team and doing what I'm doing will be the main part. But now again, I'm having these little goodbyes, like with the foundation people the other day. I will realise it's different and it'll be emotional on the last match day, but not this one. We'll probably see that. I will sit on the bus on Sunday and I know we'll be 100% focused on the game and not the situation. That might be difficult for the last match, but not for that. Yeah, forget all this. I've seen too much of it's one of his last games and all this. I get it is, but let's just restore a bit of pride a little bit from the way we've been praying. Really show we can have a go again at teams. Try and finish on a strong note. Not just about Kloppo, for us, for what we want to see more than anything. I think that's absolutely crucial. The time for eulogies, tears and all that is the last day of the season. Save it all for that Wolves game. But as he said before, there's 500 reasons why we want to give it Tottenham tight. Just for the way they've been talked about. Nonsense Neville said, the VAR, they're celebrating, all those things. And we'll get to Tottenham a bit more, but it should be all about that game. And the final one he was asked, kind of a funny question, for what he'd mentioned in the comments earlier, would he be interested in a role in football administration? And he wet himself. He said, "Oh my God, I got an award from the PFA."
Hello there. Have you ever found yourself getting ready to watch the Liverpool match? You've got your mates round, you've got your drinks, you've got your snacks, you're all set to go. It's going to be a good day. And then you find out, oh, the game's not actually being broadcast in your region. There's the heartbreak, there's rage, there's despair, there's fury. You're upset. You're looking for a solution. Well, we've teamed up with NordVPN to bring you a game-changing solution. That's right. With NordVPN, you can switch your virtual location to a country where the game's on live. It's like having a global ticket to sports, TV shows, and movies from all around the world. And here's the best part. If you go to nordvpn.com/AnfieldIndex, you'll score the best discount on your NordVPN plan. Plus, our link gives you 4 extra months free on the 2-year plan. And that's what we call a winning streak. And if you're sitting there and you're thinking, what if it's not for me? What if I don't like it? What if I'm not getting the use of it? Don't worry about it. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so it's totally risk-free. I've been using NordVPN to catch all the Liverpool matches and TV shows that I'd normally miss out on. It's totally transformed both my weekends and my TV watching. And not only that, not only does it give me access to stuff from all around the world with the click of a button, it keeps all my data safe. It means that the miscreants, the ne'er-do-wells, what my grandmother would have called scallywags, who lurk on the internet to try and steal your information, can't get to your information. NordVPN keeps it safe for you. So don't let geo-restrictions bench you this season. Visit nordvpn.com/AnfieldIndex and make sure that you're in the game, no matter when or where it's being played. Remember, it's not just sports, it's your all-access pass to binge-worthy TV shows and blockbuster movies from all around the globe. NordVPN literally unlocks the world for you and keeps you safe from the world. So don't miss out. Head over to nordvpn.com/AnfieldIndex and let the fun and games begin.
I'm not sure exactly for what. That was a long pause at this point. I think we're speaking up for players. Probably that was it. But there's just so many things going around, and I never thought about it at all. But they will need people in a normal age, knowing the business, knowing about it. But imagine me becoming FIFA president. Not the official part of it, obviously, but it seems you can make a living, it looks like. I don't think I will spend my immediate thoughts on these things. Even the things I'm hearing about, mentioning the extra games in America, that is not the plan. Honestly, watch it. He took shots at the PGMOL. He took shots at TNT and the broadcasters. He took shots at FIFA and their corruption. Took shots at the whole Spurs situation, not directly at them, it's important to say, but what happened. I love this Jurgen Klopp more than, I didn't even think it's possible to say this, but even more than ever. What I'm liking now is, doesn't give a fuck. He's turned up late to the last few, couldn't give a shit. You're seeing that more than anything. You're getting more honesty. You're getting more entertainment. I am not going to be doing then comments justice. I can't stress it enough. I'd love to see what's going to come out the embargo. Christ knows who he's going to go for now. But watch it. I mean, he even talked at the end of saying Amnesty International, the things he's saying. They can't come in with a lawsuit for this, can they? It's brilliant. Watch it. That's the best thing I can say on that whole press conference. And then we'll do as ever. We go to the West Ham clues. I mean, speaking of TNT, get to fuck the stuff they were saying. All that you heard the commentary, still no one seems up for this. It's a quiet atmosphere. It's 12:30 Saturday. Both teams are out of everything. West Ham were out of the Europa, whatever, with Leverkusen. Liverpool were out of Europa. They're out of the It was just enough. Both teams would have shook hands on a draw and not played it. Everyone just wanted to do it, get away. There's the David Moyes situation there as well. So, honest, we're not going to spend too long analysing this. I mean, the best things you can say about it is, we didn't lose. We've got a couple of goals from open play. Yes, they were a Robbo weird sort of stab. and an own goal, which is a proper Sunday league job. But it is what it is. We scored 2 goals from open play. We talk about people playing their way in or out. The weirdest thing I could say is there was a few came with pass marks. Maybe it says it all that the 2 Dutch boys did okay again. Gravenberch and Gakpo, like Fulham a bit, they did okay. They missed big chances, that's in keeping with everyone else, but they won duels, they worked hard. I think more than anything, and I've seen people go, oh, they didn't. No, they did. They were some of the better players there. They're some of the better players against Fulham. Let's not get it twisted. It just shows how low the bar has been recently. That's what's important to say. The bar has been set so low. You could say clutching at straws or whatever, but give them a bit of fair dues, a fair shake either way. Does that mean I think they'll be in the lineup? Dear Christ, no. But we'll come on to that, and we'll come on to this Spurs game, because Spurs have gone Spursy, haven't they? They have lost their last 3. I mean, they got battered by Newcastle. They were down before you knew it and out pretty much in the North London derby. Yes, they brought it back to 3-2 in the end, but set pieces, they just looked weak, didn't they? They were awful against Chelsea. 2-0, that could have been more, if anything. Spurs have gone Spursy when it really mattered. And Big Ange, the mask is just slipping a little bit, isn't it? You can see, oh, my. He nearly had a right go at that the Sky Sports guy. And understandably, Spurs are Spursy again. 60 points in the league. 7 now behind Villa with only a game in hand, and this game is against us. I mean, we officially qualified for the Champions League. It's hard to see it now with Spurs, aren't they? I mean, the other thing to say, we have got zero excuse for this game whatsoever. As Jurgen Klopp said, the pressure's off. We've had 8 days rest. Time on the training ground, as he says, to refine and look at things. So those excuses are gone. Spurs, this will be their 3rd in a week, because they played Arsenal last Sunday, then Chelsea on the Thursday, Sunday. So they haven't played many games. Now they're suffering. They've got you're starting to see it, the rotation with them. They're not looking good. They got goals in them. We know that. Son's got 16, Richarlison's got 11. They've got goals in them, but they a little bit seem to have dried up somewhat. I mean, I get it. There's penalties and stuff, and they've got a few goals against Arsenal, but you can't really say it better than Spurs are Spursy. And even with that in mind, you won't bet against them scoring, would you? That's the one thing they've got. He plays aggressive. He plays ambitious. They play threats. He plays stupid a bit at times for me as well compared to what he's got. But that is where they are. And the one thing I would say is I hope Højbjerg plays, because he's looked an absolute mess in the last few games. He was horrendous against Arsenal. He was abysmal last night against Chelsea. The whole thing about the Arsenal game was we're all sat there going, why the frig didn't you play like Bissouma and Sarr in the middle? Just like some weird choices. And I know it's rotation, but I don't think he will, but I hope came on, hoping Højbjerg starts in this one, because he was horrendous. So I suppose team news, formations, a lineup. Now, the worst bit of the press conference was Kloppo's injury update. And Virgil van Dijk hasn't trained all week. He did say, just to be clear, he's hopeful he's in parts of team training today, but he's a doubt. Diogo is not back. Conor Bradley is. Conor Bradley's back in full team training. So that's the positive side. So coming on to the lineups and formation, I hope he doesn't do this, but I get a sneaker for what he will. So here's my honest take on it. And Alisson will start in nets. Trent will be right back. Konate, Robbo at left back. I think VVD makes it. I just think he's so important. I think he is fit. The way he said about team training today, I think he'll do that, personally. Midfield. Okay, now you can do it. Like, McAllister's definitely going to be one. He's going to play. It's whether he starts at 6 or Endo's there. I think Endo plays in this one because of the way Spurs are. So it's Endo, McAllister. And Curtis Jones, I think, will start. I mean, listen, none of the midfielders have been shining recently at all. Full stop. But this just feels like a bit of a shot at, maybe this is the heart talking more than the head, right side redemption a little bit, because that right side has been made a lot of, and truly it's been quite poor at times, aside from Trent. curling that free kick against Fulham. It's just looked weak. And that's why I think the right side, leaning into the forward line on Saturday, or Sunday even, sorry, will be Trent right back. I don't know. I may be talking myself out of this, but I think it'll be Endo, McAllister left, Szoboszlai right, and then Salah will start. This is a chance for redemption to bring it back. That's how I honestly see it. The other forwards, Darwin in the middle. I a little bit hope it is, because it feels like Kloppo's given up on Darwin somewhat in this last few periods. And listen, this isn't defending Darwin to the hill. I'd understand a little bit if he has, but we know he's one of the most threatening when he's up and on it. And you should be trying to get everything, around him to make that, whether it's a streaky player or not, don't really give a shit. It should be focused on trying to bring that back. So I think it'll be Salah right, Núñez middle. And I don't like this, but I think it'll be Diaz left. I would rather see Gakpo give a bit of a run. I really would. I mean, there's all this talk that Diaz wants out. We've had our say on the transfer show, and you know what we've said. Diaz, Núñez, Salah doesn't work for me largely. I'm never a fan of that. The Diaz and Núñez together, it's just a bit, it's too up and down, if there may be a better phrase than that, but who gives a shit? But I do hope it's Salah, Núñez, Gakpo. However, I think it will be Diaz on that left side, which I'm not a fan of, but there we go. We'll have to see. But play fast, play hard. These are knackered. This is their third game in 7 days. They're wilting under pressure. So the fans need to do their job, actually, people will say as well, and I get that. But players do their job. Press hard from the off. Move the ball quickly. You've had 8 days rest. This isn't like another one where we went, it should be that focus. Hopefully it's a bit of a sunny day as well. So Anfield will be bulging and up for it, as it were. But that's the biggest thing I would like to see. And if we do that, I know people will argue, Spurs have got something to play for and chase that Champions League. We've got a lot to play for still in terms of pride. I just get up, people will give up, we want to get to the summer. But we need to see, we want to see something for Kloppo more than anything. These players owe him now. You've had 8 days rest. Fucking show it. Yeah? Press hard. Move the ball fast. Do something. Yeah? I know he's leaving. I don't care. I'd turn on these players before I turned on Jurgen at the moment. It's a lot have got something to show. And I would love, which I'm going to, maybe the heart is overruling the head. Sound like Keegan. I don't give a shit. 3-1 is what I'm seeing with Mo Salah getting the opener. Christ, 3 goals from open play. Outrageous, but how would that be? But do you know what? Said it before, I'll say it again. Watch this presser. This is maybe his best one of the season, which gives me hope that as we get to the end of the season, he will just let rip. But the PGMOL, Simon Hooper got it tight. TNT got it tight. FIFA officials and the corruption got it tight. Who knows what the rest will bring? But ahead of Spurs, ladies and gents, that was post-conference presser for Anfield Index.
We hope you enjoyed listening to this Anfield Index show. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel so future podcasts find their way to your device automatically. There's nothing quite like fan engagement, and we'd love to know what you think of anything discussed on this show. The best way to get in touch is over on our free Discord community, where both podcasters and listeners debate the hottest LFC topics 24/7. Sign up free now at AnfieldIndex.com/Discord. You won't regret it. You can also follow us on Twitter at Anfield Index and find us on Facebook by searching for Anfield Index. Oh, and before you go, we'd love it if you could leave us a 5-star review on your favourite podcast app. It only takes a couple of seconds, and it means the world to the people who create these free shows.
Sports Social Podcast Network.